Hey guys, Victor here, coming at you with another video, and today I am once again going to be trying my best to try and teach you how to play lightsworn, which can be pretty complicated at times because there are so many different lines that you can go through. So hopefully through this video you're able to at least learn the general basics of the deck, as we're going to be basically talking over all the potential plays that are going to be in the opening hand and how those plays are going to be changing depending on how we mill. So with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. Now, as is always the case with these types of videos, we're going to be giving the deck a nice proper shuffle just to ensure that the hands are as authentic as possible. And if you want to familiarize yourself with the list, feel free to check out yesterday's deck profile, as that's pretty much the exact list that we're going to be using, including the 41st card, which I should not be playing, but we are. And I did make one major change, being that for some reason I just forgot to include the Necroquip Princess. I don't know why, I don't know what consumed me, but we basically added that into this list and took out an IP Masquerena. But yeah, just wanted to make sure that that was apparent, you know, and rectify my mistake from yesterday, because I don't know what came over me, but for some reason it's just not in there. So yeah, we're gonna do this. Gotta speed this up a little bit, and then once we're done pile shuffling our 41 card deck, we'll be good to go, and hopefully our starting five is actually playable, as it's very easy to actually end up breaking on this type of deck because we just play so many cards that we don't want in our hand, right? Like the Trick Clown, like the Zephyros, like the Wolf, the Felices, and things of that nature. So with that should be good enough for the shuffle, and then we can see our starting five, and it's going to be Punishment Dragon, which, I mean, whatever, Bestial Baldrake, Weiss Lightsworn Archfiend, Wolf Lightsworn Beast, and another Weiss Lightsworn Archfiend. So this is basically full combo. And you may be thinking, well, we have the Weiss, so we might as well just go straight for it, right? And while that could be good, I think it's better just to save these and actually end up normal summoning our first Weiss, just so that we can go full Fiendsmith combo first and actually just be able to negate our opponent's plays. So we're gonna go for Weiss, then we're gonna link it off, and from here we're going to our Fiendsmith Requiem, and our Fiendsmith Requiem we'll be able to summon out the Engraver from the deck. As for the zone, it doesn't really matter because it's about to be equipped with the Requiem. And then from here, we can go into the aforementioned Necroquip Princess that I forgot to include in the profile because I'm bad at this game. And then our Engraver will activate to summon itself back, and we're going to be shuffling back the Weiss instead of the Requiem, actually. It genuinely doesn't really matter all that much, if I'm being honest, but we'd much rather have just like multiple copies of this in the deck than put back the Requiem, because you can still very much, like during the next turn, go for like another Engraver summon, equip it, and then pop it without having to commit to the link summon. So yeah, it's better to do it that way. Then from here, we are going to go for our rank 6 play. We don't need the use of Pilgrim Reaper because we already have everything in our hand. So we're basically just going to go straight for the High King Caesar and basically give us protection from whatever card our opponent may have. Now, if they had a nib, they probably would have used it earlier, if I'm being honest. But if they don't, then we basically just auto win the game right then and there. So yeah, we have our High King Caesar, and it's on the far side just to ensure that our link plays don't get messed up. So now that we have the protection, we can go for our full Lightsworn combo. So we're gonna go Weiss, effect, put Wolf on top, and then mill 2, including the card that we just put on top, which is the Wolf. So it's Wolf and Druid Worm, which not ideal, but it's fine. And then Wolf's effect will activate, and then it'll summon itself. And from here, we're going to go for a synchro play, and we're going to go for the Minerva, the Athenian Lightsworn. And because we use 2 different Lightsworns, we're going to be able to send 2 more cards. And with those, we are going to send, we have a couple of choices here, mainly because, you know, we have like Wolf and Weiss here. It's going to be a little bit more on the awkward side because we want to be able to set up something like Punishment Dragon, right? So because we don't have a Dragon Link in our hand, we're going to have to get a little creative with that. And as a result, while this may seem bad now, I promise it'll work out more in the end. We're actually going to be sending Dragon Link and Weiss this time. So this play, like I said, seems a little bit weird, but it'll make more sense in the long run, especially because we're trying to set up the Punishment Dragon. And so Weiss's Graveyard effect will trigger, bringing back the Dragon Link, and then Dragon Link's effect will trigger because it was special summoned to be able to send another Lightsworn card. And from there, we're going to be sending our Felice, and now we have 4 different names so that we can ensure that we summon the Punishment Dragon at some point. So we're going to go here, And then from here, we have another choice. We can go for a level 8 synchro in the form of Cyframe Lord Omega. We can go for a Link 2, which I wouldn't really recommend because we have the Minerva up here already. And I guess we can go for like a rank 4 play if we want to go for Dugaris, but we don't really gain any value out of that either. So the best course of action here would actually be to go for the Omega, especially if we had the Punishment Dragon in our deck still. This would basically mean that we could still just like search it out within our deck one more card, but it's in our hand, so that's not possible. So from here, we're going to summon out our Cyframe Lord Omega and clear up the board just a little bit. And now that we have 4 different lightsworn names in our graveyard, we are free to go for the Minerva play to mill 4 cards. So we got that one, that one, and this one. So we're going to banish those 4, and then we're going to mill 4 cards, and hopefully they're good ones. So we got another Felice, which is great, a Call by the Grave, which is whatever, a Perform Age Trick Clown, which is great, and a Forbidden Droplet, which is also whatever. But point is, we're going to be getting 2 free bodies that we can now play with, so Felice will trigger and Trick Clown will trigger, and they both come back. And as for the zones, I think, yeah, we're gonna put that one there. But I mean, if we really wanted to like clear up another card, we could just like Omega Banish effect itself. So it's not that big of a deal. So we have, okay, we have our Caesar there, Trick Clown there, and then those guys. Okay, so from here, we have a couple of choices on what we can make. We can go for like the Dissipator play just by banishing a light or dark in our grave. But we don't really want to do that just yet. We want to try and hit like a Bestial Lubellion first. So I think we're going to go for the Punishment Dragon play where we're going to summon it. And then from here, because we have like 4 different, right? So we're free to summon it. Then we're going to overlay the Minerva and the Punishment Dragon with the Zombie Vampire. Now, as for what you're going to be detaching, because there's no guarantee that the Zombie Vampire will be linked off immediately, you basically just want to detach the Punishment Dragon to ensure that basically you're going to be able to add it back whenever you want through the use of something like Starleech Safer, right? So yeah, our Zombie Vampire will activate, and now we'll be milling 4 cards. We got a Bestial Magnamut, which is fantastic, Wolf, Lightsworn Beast, Lightsworn Dragonling, and a Charge of the Light Brigade. Now this is one of those common things where like I'd always say, I guess, it becomes a little bit more difficult, right? But I'm going to showcase why it's not. So obviously we're going to special summon out the Bestial Magnamut. And then from here, even though our zones are clogged, the Wolf will still activate because it's mandatory. So this will still be Chainlink 1. And then we can make Bestial Magnamut Chainlink 2. And because we want to be able to summon out the Wolf, we're actually going to be making Cyframe Lord Omega Chainlink 3 just to banish it and open up that final zone to ensure that the Wolf can actually come out. And, you know, pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. So we're doing that. And then during the end phase, we're going to be able to add back a dragon. So, all right, pretty powerful plays already. And then from here, we have another choice to make. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting access to something like the Bestial Lubellion anytime soon. So we probably won't be needing this all that often. So I guess it's safe to just synchro this off into our Bestial Dissipator now. So we're going to summon our synchro, being Bestial Dissipator. Attack or defense, I guess if you want to play around like Lightning Storm, defense is probably optimal. But it probably won't be staying on the field for long. So yeah, that's fine. And then we're going to put it here just to once again protect our link zones. Because typically the reason why you don't really want to place anything here is for those plays where you go for like Hieratic Seal up here and then you want to put like a, I don't know, like an SP Little Knight or something down here. Or an IP Masquerena if you have the space for it. Yeah, this is fine right there. So we're going to be doing this, and then we can activate our Bestial Dissipator's effect to reborn the Omega from the banish, and then we can do like another hand rip with the Cyframe Lord Omega, and just like that, our opponent is down 2 cards, and we basically still have plenty of gas to go because we're going to be summoning this Bestial Baldrake, and then linking these 4 off into hopefully something good. So we're going to be doing this, and as for what we're going to be banishing, I guess it doesn't really matter all that much, but it'll probably have to be the Bestial Magnamut just because we don't really have like any way to take advantage of it outside of like the branded regained, which I mean, if we do have like a branded regained, we're probably going to want to like bring something like this back instead. But like I said, it's fine. Then from here, we're going to link these 4 off into our Saryuja. And then hopefully we get something good off of that. We're only going to be able to keep one card, unfortunately, but sometimes that one card can just make all the difference. So Sarduja effect, draw 4. The Bestial Lubellion, great. Fiendsmith Engraver, great. Fiendsmith Attract, whatever, and Branded Regain. So it's a pretty easy choice. We're just going to be putting these 3 back, and I should probably put this into frame. So these 3 will go to the bottom, and as for the order, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it does, but for this situation, it doesn't matter. So we're going to activate our Bestial Lubellion now, discarding it to add a dragon, and we should still have one more Baldrake left in our deck, unless I scuffed it somehow. And nope, there it is. Perfect. Okay. It's panicking for a second. And then from here, we're going to keep this card in our hand because we've already summoned it once. And then our Bestial Lubellion will be tributing the Bestial Dissipator to summon itself out. And now we're going to be activating our Lubellion's effect to be able to set the Branded Regain onto the field. And just the Branded Regain alone honestly helps us so much, as it'll be able to bring this card back, this card, for free, as well as every time like we end up banishing like a light or dark, we're going to plus by drawing 1 card. So yeah, this card, great. So from here, we're having those, and then we can now link off the Skull Druid and the Bestial Lubellion to go for the Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. And this card alone already is like way too much for the opponent to typically deal with, but when you have like a Hieratic Seal plus the DDD Wave High King Caesar plus some Branded Regain, and they've started on -2 cards because of the double Omega, the game is basically wrapped up at that point, right? As whenever they decide to normal or special, you're going to be able to bring back the Dissipator, and then because you're typically going to be shuffling back one of your banished guys, you're going to be able to destroy their monster. So you have a Destruction, a Pop, and double Solemn Warning. And we still have the Baldrake in our hand too, and the monster that we're going to be adding to our hand during the end phase because of Bestial Magnemite, which is probably going to be the Bestial Druisworm. And so now they have to contend with both of these guys. And with that, that's a pretty general idea of how you want to be able to play Lightsworn in the modern game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya!